Welcome to another episode, No Cap Sports, man. And we're gonna get straight to the business. This summer, I made a little NFL offseason recap video and I said that the AFC Championship would become known as the Drake May Invitational. This week is the AFC Championship, and while it's not in Foxborough, Drake May is in the AFC Championship, and he'll be going up against former Patriot Jared Stidham. Is obviously, we know Bo Nix went down with a broken ankle at the end of the divisional round game. So, fellas, how we feeling about this game? Obviously, a little bit of the a little bit of the simmer has come off of the game, with Bo Nix missing it, but still, I think it was something that would be a very good game. So, how y'all feeling?
Oh man, it's I don't think Stidham's as bad or is as big as a drop off from Bo Nix. It is a drop off. Do not get me wrong, but he can win this game. I just feel like the Patriots have that pedigree, although be it's a new quarterback, new coach from years ago, from the dynasty years. It's something about we said it last week. Some franchises are meant to lose, some are just meant to win, bro. And New England is one of those franchises. When you think of winners, especially in our lifetime, if not them, who else has been better like in the past 25 years in terms of just being a successful franchise, winning games? Nobody. You literally can't think of it. Individuals. So Serena, the shit, Tiger Woods, Patriots, even basketball, they don't really. Maybe the Warriors when they were running things in the 2010s, maybe.
Yeah,
But other than that, nah, man. The Patriots, they have all the right ingredients going for them. You know, they face this weak schedule. Regular season was
damn.
weak. No, don't get me wrong. It was weak, bro. It was weak. It was weak. Sauce.
I mean, you're
And
not lying,
so
bro. We was a fourth place team last year, bro. That's the benefits.
yeah, no, for sure. But y'all did what y'all were supposed to do. And I would say this will be the one game, one of the few games in the league where I would say Mike Vrabel is not the better coach. They're pretty much on par, in my opinion, when it comes down to Mike Vrabel and I can't even think of his name,
Sean
Saints
Payton.
coach. Sean Payton, yes, man. It is going to be styles make fights. They both play similar type of football. One has a starting quarterback, the other doesn't, and so I believe you have to give them the edge.
I definitely think, there's not that big of a drop off, like you said, from Bo Nix to Jared Stidham. Like we come on here and talked about Bo Nix time and time after again, being a guy who plays on schedule, does things like that. And so when I think of Jared Stidham, I think back to what was it, two off seasons ago when Sean Payton became the head coach. Guess who was the first guy Sean Payton signed when he became head coach of the Denver Broncos, bro?
Who was it?
Jared Stidham, 2 years, $12 million to be your backup quarterback, bro. So to me, that shows kind of the faith that they have in him. And then conversely, even a guy in Josh McDaniels, who's our offensive coordinator, when he was in Las Vegas, Oakland, I don't know where they were at the time, but he was a guy who traded for Jared Stidham to be his quarterback. So obviously, this is a guy who's well respected around league circles and has some experience. But to me, when we talk about this Broncos team, I think it's less about what Jared Stidham can do and more about what this Broncos defense can potentially do. We look at this defense. This is a defense that was top five in the league in sacks. You think about the names like Nick Bonito and some of the things they were able to accomplish this year. Drake May has turned the ball over, what, three, four times over his first two playoff games. If this Denver defense can get some turnovers and put Jared Stidham in advantageous situations, that is something that scares me a little bit. But other than that, like you said, Vance, I think the Patriots have all the ingredients necessary to make it back to the bowl, something that we haven't seen since Brady and Belichick, man.
Oh, so when you say they have all the ingredients, do it's for sure that Drake May is the better quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Who has the better running backs in this game in terms of who you think can lead? Who has a better chance of leading on a run game in this game?
And that's where I think. We've seen it so far throughout the playoffs. This has been a Mondre Stevenson playoffs, and I think that will continue. Like I saw a report that J.K. Dobbins might get activated for the Broncos. He hasn't played since the middle of the year. R.J. Harvey, like TJ said last week, doesn't strike fear into me. And obviously, you're not going to get the same production out of the quarterback run game that you got from Bo Nix, that you're going to get with Jared Stidham. So I trust this New England run game, and like I said last week too, I trust a veteran OC in Josh McDaniels and a veteran head coach who's been here before on the back of a strong running game in Mike Vrabel to get that going. Once again versus Denver, we've had 100 plus rushing yard performances in the first two playoff games, and I don't see that changing here.
Oh, okay. What about you, TJ?
When y'all were talking about Jared Stidham, it made me think that I don't know if you remember they cut Russ. They told him to stay home so they could play Jared Stidham. So we going 3 for 3. Those are some good accolades. I had two things for the game. The first thing was to take advantage of the advantage. So y'all talked about quarterback position. It's not just executing offense, but their at Denver's advantage is the defense. You could take that away from them by long drives, sustaining drives, success. So if you take away what they want to hang their hat on, and it's can we turn this into a track meet, which the Patriots can do. It might not be what they're known for, but they can do it. And in that case, the Broncos won't really have a chance. Like if Stidham is able to, sit in the pocket and play point guard and they can run and the defense is playing, it'll be a better game than we think. But if the Patriots are able to sustain drives, physicality, spread the ball out and tire out the defense, which Denver's going to try to hang their hat on, I think it'll be a long day for them. And most importantly, don't become the example. So, we talked about it before the game was even over. Whoever, because I think Bo Nix got hurt on that Saturday. We talked about on the Sunday of the other two games that, whoever wins this Texans Patriots game is going to the Super Bowl. And for the most part, I feel like that is the case. But this is still an NFL game. This is still the highest level. This is still, guys that compete. Still might not be a number one guy, but he's a professional guy. He makes millions of dollars. He knows what he's doing. He just has limited capabilities. Doesn't mean he has limited knowledge. Doesn't mean he has limited, desire, want to. So they can win this game. I don't think they will. I don't think they have a very good chance. But we saw the Patriots struggle with turnovers, and we saw Will Campbell struggle to block. And this is a team that can do the exact same thing. Maybe not to the length and the exact physicality, but they probably rush the passer maybe a little bit better. They just don't have that good of a back end and that good of a linebacker core. A full collective unit. Like, oh my God, it's the Texans. But this is probably the second or third best defense in the league, so they can't let them do what Houston did. And I think that, as funny as it might sound, Stidham pretty much can't play any worse than CJ Stroud did. And the Texans still had a chance to win that game. So not to pile on to him, but, there are things that can be done to ensure that that won't happen. The Patriots got to hold on to the ball and they've got to block because the Broncos can make it a long game in return. And then we'll be kicking field goals and we'll be like, God, man, turn this off. This is horrible. And the Patriots might win a little bit closer than we think. So I just take advantage of their advantage and don't become the example of, a free trip to the Super Bowl. And then, the Broncos find a way to win at home. I don't think that'll happen, but it's a possibility. It always is.
Yeah, and I think like for all the discussion we're doing about this Broncos defense, this Patriots defense has been just as impressive throughout
Yeah.
this playoff run, if you ask me.
Yeah.
If Vance, you asked about the running backs earlier. This Patriots defense held the Texans to 48 rushing yards on 22 attempts. If you go back and look at that game, the money was well spent in bringing in Milton Williams because him, Christian Barmore, Chris Tonga, all of those guys were resetting the line of scrimmage 2 or 3 yards in the offensive backfield. And then you look at a guy like Carlton Davis who had what 2 or 3 interceptions in that game on Saturday. Like this is a very good defensive unit, and I think they're really showing it even down to the rookies playing ball. The two Cal safeties on the back end. Yes, this Broncos defense is serious, but if this Patriots defense can force this Denver offense to go three and out, turnover, you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
put them in a position to where they're behind,
Yeah.
Drake May, your job is easy. He's kind of going to be in the same situation. We talk about some of these quarterbacks just have to be Jalen Hurts. That might be all Drake May has to do this game to, you know what I'm saying, to
Yeah. Yeah.
appear in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Do you think Stidham would play better than CJ Stroud?
I ain't gonna lie. I think my brother, who's a senior in college, could play better than CJ Stroud.
Damn, Josh already a senior?
Yeah.
He's
Wow.
been in college forever.
Man.
I would hope so.
He can't play no worse. Well, don't let me challenge him because we've seen 5 interception, 3 fumble games. I don't think so, and I don't think the coach will let him. But we're gonna see if the offensive guru Sean Payton, Mister, let everybody see my play sheet on TV. We'll see what because he's not been a guy that's been shy. He's been taking digs and shots, and he likes to talk slick. So we're gonna see if he's going to earn his money, whoever the quarterback is. Because like you guys said, it really isn't that big of a step down, but nerves play a factor. He doesn't have that much experience. He doesn't have any playoff experience that I know of, and this is the
Yeah.
highest stage. So
Shit. So let's go on and predict this game, man. Who y'all got? I think the answer is pretty obvious.
I mean, it seems obvious. It really does. But then again, it's like the Broncos as a team, as a unit, is just as good as the Patriots. There's a reason why they're both in the AFC Championship. Neither one of them got there, by luck. They're the
yeah.
1 and 2 seeds on paper. This is on paper. So on paper, I guess the Broncos should have been favorites going into this game if they would have had Bo Nix. Of course, that drops it down with Stidham, but I think it was still like a pick 'em at first. But I just gotta trust the Patriots. I think they're gonna make a play, but I think the Broncos somewhere they're gonna get like a special teams touchdown, block punt, block field goal, something crazy. It's gonna be to keep it close, but I think the Patriots will pull it out in the end. I'm gonna say 23-17 New England.
Um, I feel like I like a lot what he said about, it being competitive. Like when we've been talking about it, I was really thinking that it is not that big of a step down at quarterback, and we can't really move the goalposts how we might want to because none of us think too highly of Bo Nix, injury or not. Before this, like Vance said, we were talking about him like I don't want to say talking about him like a dog, but like that's not somebody who, if we were picking quarterbacks, just us talking, lunch table talk, we're not picking him first. Probably pick him somewhere in the middle if we had to, and if we don't have to, we're not gonna. If that makes sense. But I feel like the Patriots scored a lot of points, but didn't play a clean game last week. I think that'll change. I don't think those sacks will be given up. I think they can be given up, but that should be the only emphasis that the Patriots are worried about. Protecting the football. I like a 27-10, but I feel like it'll be a late pullout. Like it could be 10-10 at halftime, and the Patriots wake up and score, 2, 3 touchdowns. Or so like a 27-10 game. I like the Patriots.
Mm. I like how y'all are saying it'll be close. I don't think it'll be close. We just saw Buffalo go into Denver and put up nearly 350 yards of offense, and I think the Patriots will repeat that same formula. We saw James Cook get going, Mondre, Travion get y'all carries, y'all gonna eat, and then on top of that, let's talk about Kayshon Boutte for a minute,
Mhm.
because last year he got he got PS2, good fade ball to end the half. Last week, he got Derek Stingley, one hand in the end zone. So Kayshon Boutte is a corner number one killer. Riley Moss, he ain't got no hope. We are not worried about that Broncos defense is all I'm trying to say. I like us to, like I said, score some points. So give me like a 33-10 game.
Oh,
And shit, we might even get a Josh Dobbs snap on Sunday.
Oh my God.
wow, he's the third string. Oh, he's y'all's backup. Wow.
Yeah, he
Okay.
our backup.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
All right,
I don't think
TJ.
a
I know
lot of
you're
people
gonna be
did, bro.
I know you're gonna be on bias on this. If Bo Nix was playing, would you still pick the Patriots to win?
Hell
It's
no,
hard.
shit, ball.
What do you say?
Hell no.
I don't know. I feel like them being at home and they're probably one of the more battle tested teams. Like I know we feel like winning close games. Sometimes we feel like that's damning with faint praise. Like when teams win close games, sometimes we're like, okay, well they could have lost, and then sometimes we flip it and say, oh well, that shows me that they're a battle tested team. I feel like they could have stole the game. I wouldn't have picked them. I probably would have picked the Patriots, and it would have been like a field goal. I would have expected it to be just as head busting. I would have, probably one of them. They both throw a pick, both put it on the ground. I think the Broncos' run game is a little bit better than we might be giving them credit for. I think Dobbins would be a boost, but I don't know if he's going to play. I think if Bo Nix played, I think the whole team would be a little bit more confident. As much as they get up on the podium and say, "Oh well," Sean Payton was like, "Watch out!" Like, okay, I understand. Like, you're not going to be like, "Damn, what are we going to do without our QB?" But at the same time, he could have been up there thinking that in his mind, but saying, you better watch out. Like, damn, you don't even talk about Bo Nix like this. This is absolute horse shit. Like, what are you doing? Watch out. Can y'all pull me up a clip where he's talking about Bo Nix and he's like, watch out. Like that's over. I feel like he was overcompensating. So
With Bo Nix is watch out, here comes Skirk.
For sure.
yeah, I'm gonna say no. I just think I think it would be closer. I'm gonna say no. I would go Patriots.